Welcome for another episode of My Skeptical Sister. I am Megan, the skeptical one.
And I'm Erin, the believer.
Boy, that sounded professional. It had a touch. There was a touch of professionalism.
We're getting it.
I know, right? Maybe I should stop pointing that out, and then it would really sound. No, but welcome to our little humble podcast. We have been humbled this week, and I think that's a good thing. And we are both embracing it, and would like to address a situation that happened in our last episode. So we describe our parents' dog in not the best light in general.
Right.
But unfortunately, we chose a word that, unbeknownst to us, is a very offensive word in certain parts of the country. And so we want to very just at the top of this, because we are taking it very seriously, and we definitely want our audience to know that our number one goal, besides scaring you guys and making you laugh, but honestly, really, we do all of this with an open heart to everyone. And we are inclusive to all human beings. And I was the one that said it, so I will fully own it. I know you were nice enough to say that you didn't know it was.
I did not know. And if I had known, I would have called you out for it.
I know, because you do call me out a lot of stuff. And that's, and I will say that, there's a part of it, I'm like, man, sometimes you get this like arrogance of like, I'm so woke. And I think anytime you get that arrogance of I'm woke, you're not woke. Like when you start feeling that way, you need to check yourself, because there's just no way. There is no way that you can be woke to everything in this world. And that's because we're human. Mm-hmm. And we're conditioned, and we grew up in the 80s, and
we live in Kentucky. We have never gone to England. Right. Like, we don't know the cultural norms other places, but this does reach, I mean, we could have potential anywhere,
to reach very far corners of this earth. So
if we ever say anything that's offensive to anyone, we will, of course, issue a genuine apology as soon as we can.
And please let us know. I don't know if she wants us to say her name or not, but I am going to read a little bit of her email, or not email, like she put it on Facebook. So it really, if you want to see the entire post, please go to Facebook, because I learned a lot from it. And I just think it's best to hear it from her in her words, kind of how we messed up, and we need to own it. And it's okay that we messed up, as long as now that we know better, we do better. And I definitely think we both subscribe to that.
And she was so kind in the way of
so kind. Yeah. And I did say in my response to her, I just hope I would be that gracious, because I feel like if I were to listen to a podcast and two people used a word, the word that is the equivalent to the word that we used, I would turn it off, and I would be like, whoa, they are clearly, and I don't know that I would go that extra mile. And so I really kind of learned a real big lesson, not just from, what this word is, but also like, okay,
don't write people off.
Don't just write people off. Maybe they don't know. And we really didn't know. And I really hope, really, truly did not know. And I really hope that, we don't have people turn us off because of that. And we're going to correct it. And we're going to make sure that we do right by her, but also the entire community that we have offended. So let me just read part of this, because then if you're listening just now and you're like, what are they talking about? It'll kind of, this will sum it up. Okay. So this is from the listener that is from the UK. So early on, when talking about their parents' dog, either Erin or Megan, it was Megan, she says, I can't tell their voices apart, it was me, referred to the dog as spastic. This is an ableist slur, clearly used as a derogatory descriptor, originating from descriptions of physically disabled people. Having Googled a bit, I can see it's not considered as offensive in the US as it is in the UK. Here, it's incredibly offensive, probably even more so than the R word. So I was absolutely shocked to hear anyone use the word on a podcast. So while clearly it's more commonplace in the US, I thought I should flag up its significance in the UK, as podcasts obviously have an international reach, especially in England, in the English-speaking world. And so she goes on to explain so much more about it, but then she ends it with, kind of saying, I know you ladies probably weren't trying to offend, which we really weren't. And I'm so glad that you hopefully if you listen to this tone of our podcast, our tone is, we try as hard as we can to be inclusive.
Right.
And so, so I'm glad that she could pick that up. That made me feel a little bit better, but I'll tell you, I have felt sick about it all day. I've had this lump in my stomach because, we are both in education.
Right. I know. That's what I thought. I thought, oh my gosh, what if I ever said that?
Yes. Yeah. I instantly started reflecting back to I hope I have not been using this word in ignorance.
Right.
I don't know that I ever had, to describe a child that way, but,
yeah,
but either way, it doesn't matter who I'm describing that word, like she explains in there, it is wrong. And so now I know, and I will definitely take it out of my vocabulary. I can also kind of remember that happening with the R word, like back
right.
in, that was kind of something that everybody used to describe, horrible things, or, and I remember that shift of and now when I hear,
oh yeah, it's like my
nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, your heckles go up. I don't know what that means. I hope that's not offensive.
But, I think that's when a dog gets upset. Their heckles go up.
Okay, sure. I have no idea.
Well, now I'm going to Google it.
No, I'm sure it's that. But yeah, my point is though, language evolves, meaning evolves, people evolve. Thank God, because that R word or the S word, now that we know it, probably always had that same. It was about what we're saying, but unfortunately, people were not intelligent enough to be respectful enough.
Right. We had a lot of people comment. A lot of our American listeners were like, "Oh, I had no idea." So it is good.
Which is why, before this all started, we kind of debated, do we actually say the word? Because, once you learn the word, then it's like nails on a chalkboard to even say, like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible now coming out of my mouth. Right. However, I wanted to read what she wrote in her own words because she educated us. And if we have just this little tiny platform that we're standing up here on, able to educate anybody else in any part of the world, now they know that word is not acceptable. It is derogatory. It should be taken out of your vocabulary.
Right.
It is taken out of ours. So
sorry, the dog is walking around.
This is what happens when we kick her off the couch so she won't snore. She just walks around loudly. But anyway, so we'll just kind of end it with that. But my sincerest apologies. And please, if we keep doing this, chances are this is going to happen again.
Right.
And I hope that we have made it clear that that's okay. Please call us out. Do not let us live in ignorance. Call us out. Keep us evolving.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks. Well done. And we'll do better.
Yes. Now that we know better, we will do better.
All right.
There I am trying to get that last word in again. That's like remember last week? You're like trying to get that. I think you took it out, but yeah, you shouldn't have. At the very end, I she summed it up, and then I tried to say something, and she was like, "There you go again, getting that last word."
So get in that last word, Megan.
Yeah. But that's what we do. So let's get into how crazy it has been getting back into real life.
Yeah. So we, in our school system, kids come back this week. So we have been preparing. I only cried twice today. So
right. So we're doing really good.
Yeah. Once was just a panic cry when I was trying to figure out schedules, and I just made our sweet librarian and our Spanish teacher very uncomfortable while I cried. And they were like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. These are tears of happiness for being back. I promise.
I think what I have discovered is that I am thankfully, I think it's very fortunate. I am not somebody who gets anxious a lot. I don't have a lot of anxiety. But that just means that when I do get it, I don't know what to do with it. And I really panic.
Yeah.
So, it's been rough. I got a message from my daughter's kindergarten teacher that we were going to have a meeting at 7:00 with the parents on Google Meet, just to go over everything. And the highlight of my day was that there's this new mom to our school. Sorry. There's a new mom at our school who is, she's got kindergartners with Penelope, and she's so nice. She's got a daughter in Penelope's Girl Scout troop. So she sent out a message hey, I bet you guys are really stressed out. I just want you to know you're doing an awesome job.
Aww.
It's just like out of the blue, so nice. Yes. She's always so friendly. Well, today we're all, looking at each other in the little Google Meet, and she's sitting there, and she sent me a text that said, "Whoops, I just held my beer up to the to the camera." I was like, awesome. Oh, we're gonna be so good friends.
Yeah, right.
So there you go. That little like spark. I was like,
yes, I needed that.
Made me laugh.
There's another human here. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I've noticed just we've all been anticipating this great big return, and a lot of people haven't. A lot of the world is still shut down, but if teachers are starting to slowly get back into it, we've been anticipating this return, and then it's like, oh shit, I got to get up really early. Like that's been my biggest struggle. Is I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not remember how early 6:30 was in the morning. So it's been crazy just readjusting to everything. But then I also kind of find it comical that at least the way my school worked today, because I've been in the building, but not all the other teachers have been. So we all come to the building, go directly to our rooms, get on our computers, and have meetings with each other all day long.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So, our principal, he is being very strict, which I appreciate. He's being very strict on the COVID safety guidelines. And, but he's also really funny because he's like, he sees anybody within 6 feet. He's like the 6 feet policeman now, like he comes around and he's like, so we all jump apart. I'm like, we can't even do this. This is going to be so interesting when these kids come back. But
we met in the gym, but all of our chairs, we had no tables. We had nothing to put anything on.
Wow.
It was just like a chair 6 feet over, a chair 6 feet over, which is also real weird.
It is. It's a new norm, and it is going to take some adjustment for sure. And a big part of that is just getting your butt out of bed. And having to dress from the waist down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no pants. I had to go pants shopping. I'm like, what? Did I not wear pants before this pandemic? I couldn't find any pants.
I don't think any of mine fit.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably what I did. I probably got mad one day and just started throwing them all out. And I did. I blocked it out of my mind because I really was like, what did I wear to work before this pandemic? Anyway, I had to go pants shopping, but that's always a blast. But I was chumming it up with the cashiers, and I was like, I've had more fun in these 5 minutes.
You shopped in 5 minutes, or just with
the cashier checking out? But I'm like, oh my gosh, this is I'm craving social interaction with human beings.
Right.
And so anytime I get it, it's almost too long. I'm like, they see people all day long. So they're probably like, oh, ma'am, there's somebody in line behind you. And I'm like, let me tell you this little anecdote about my child. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I got to be a little bit more self-aware. I am now out of the house, So I think that is in itself a whole nother kind of adjustment. But we'll get there, and it's all happening.
Yes, it is. It's exciting. It is exciting. It's stressful right now, but it will be exciting.
Yeah. It's got it's kind of like the birth canal. I bet that's real stressful. I mean, I don't remember, but I'd imagine it's like, what the hell is happening? Because we were warm and kind of pissed off because we had to be in there for so long.
I remember
actually turning into a great analogy. Hold on. So you're in the birth canal. Everything's nice and warm, but you're still kind of like, I'm crowded in here, and I can hear other voices. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I want to get out of here. And then finally it's starting to happen, but it's like, what the hell are we having to do to get out of this place?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's
and then you're all naked and cold. Wait a minute.
Because I didn't have pants.
There you go.
I didn't have the pants. It did. It really did.
Okay, so I've got a really good story, but it's actually a personal story for both of us.
Oh, Erin, I feel like I'm gonna cry on this one.
I really did cry when I reread it again tonight.
Oh, gosh.
And I think I cried the first time I read it. So we have a cousin, Karen, who is the coolest person I've ever met in person
in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm intimidated by her.
I'll say this: I didn't know she was that cool growing up. I think maybe I would have. I'm kidding, girl. I'm kidding. No, I'm just saying, you grow up with somebody, you don't know how cool they're going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think I was pretty nice to her, because sometimes I was kind of mean to other people, but I'm pretty sure she was older than me. So
yeah,
pretty sure I was in good with her, but
she's amazing. She lives the most adventurous life.
Yeah.
They've lived in Thailand, and
I mean, I don't even want to say it because we're going to say it wrong. I know they've gone to Israel. I don't know if they live there, but they travel. She travels more than any human being
and so do her kids. Like she just
takes her kids with her.
It's amazing.
It really is.
Her picture. She's also an incredibly talented photographer.
Yes.
So everything she puts on Instagram.
Everything. She's talented in all. Like she gets like various different jobs and succeeds in all of them.
I know. I'm real jealous of how
cool she is. No, I'm like, maybe she's too cool. No, I'm kidding. We have always looked up to her, and we always will have like get a load of Karen. And then when she comes around, I mean, it's like a movie. Oh yeah, it's like a movie star coming.
If she says she's coming to town, we're like, drop everything.
Like I'm pretty sure everybody calls each other like, Karen's coming. Karen's coming. Guess what? Karen's coming. Now we're really dorky.
We try to play it a lot cooler when we're actually in person. We're like, oh hey girl.
Hey girl, we got stories too. Our kids are cute.
This is embarrassing. We need to stop.
That's okay.
We're gonna keep reading.
Let's just let it all hang out. That's fine. Okay.
I'm not gonna chop any of it, but we should move on.
Okay. All right. Let's listen to her story. So maybe I'm just trying to prolong. I just know it's going to be sweet.
I know. Okay. So this is from our cousin Karen. Well, I guess I won't give any. I was going to give a little bit of background, but I guess I could just read it.
Just read her story.
Okay. So ladies. I love the pod. There are times in the day where work requires me to do mindless things, and it just brightens my day to pop you two on and listen to the stories and laughter. Keep up the amazing work. So fun to watch you grow and flourish.
I mean, if I could describe my face right now.
No, I am blushing.
Blushing? I'm like smiling so big. So I'm like, I cannot believe she really listens to us.
Right.
I mean, like maybe once because she's like, they're my cousins. So I guess I'll put it in and listen to them. But I mean, that is so, like, my heart is so big right now because she is the coolest person I know. And she listens to us. I love it.
Oh, goodness. I know. It's awesome. Okay. I've never had a paranormal encounter up until the few I'm about to share, with exception of a birthday party in my preteen days, or maybe two, where we were able to stand, all in capital letters, to our feet with another girl in the air, the light as a feather game. And that shit freaks me out just thinking about, but I feel like there's a rational explanation. The power of collective energy amongst a group of preteen girls is legit and not to be questioned. However, here is my real story. So have you ever played Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board?
Oh, remember? Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah, and I was always the one doing the heavy lifting because I was too heavy to be lifted.
Yeah, that's right. I never volunteered to be lifted.
Yeah. Right.
I did watch that really dumb show, Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. I think it was on Hulu.
There's a show?
It's really bad, and I totally got sucked in and watched every episode.
It sounds right up your alley.
I know. It was real dumb. I was watching this like, I'm ashamed that I'm watching this, but here we go. Play. As you are aware, Katie, my first wife, passed away now 12 years ago. She was a force to be reckoned with in real life. Still to this day, I've never met anyone more alive than she was. A captivating human kind of feels like an understatement, which absolutely. I only got to meet Katie once or twice, and very memorable impression.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Were you living in town when she came in town with her band?
To perform, yeah.
Yeah, when she was touring, and we got to go. And again, I was like, I cannot believe I know her.
I know. This other cool person is part of our family.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And she did come to our Thanksgivings a couple of times. And so, but yeah, when she was touring and then she's like hanging out with us, I'm like, you are famous and you're beautiful. I mean, stunning. And then like that voice, I mean,
she was amazing. And when we went, she like had legit groupies.
Yes, definitely. She was on her way to making it big for sure.
Yes. At the time of her death, we lived in an upstairs apartment just outside of New York City. The boys were 1 and 3, so small people. When Katie was alive, one of the biggest pet peeves was that she would constantly leave not 1, but 2 or 3 kitchen cabinets open after getting something from them. It drove me bonkers, but inevitably made me laugh. That just about every time I would walk into the kitchen, there were those cabinets wide open from the whirlwind of activity. About a week and a half after her passing, I walked into our kitchen to find all the top cabinets open. It sent chills down my spine because the boys never climbed the kitchen counters to get to the cabinets. They were just too tall for even the insane climber Aiden was and still is. There are now he's like 6 foot tall.
Oh my gosh,
so he wouldn't need to climb.
Right, he's so tall.
There was no explanation. No person had been in the house besides me and the boys, and this happened on 3 separate occasions.
Wow.
But that isn't the craziest.
Huh.
Sidebar, I met a number of widows early on in my grief journey, them much further along in their grief and loss, and more than one told me that the first 6 months post your loved one passing is the highest activity time for them trying to make contact with you.
Wow.
Not only that, but they also generally use technology, Megan. They use technology. Okay.
Little Karen, don't make me debunk Katie. I can't do it.
You get so country when you talk about, you said heart earlier, and I said, don't make me debunk.
I don't mean to. I swear I'm not meaning to.
Don't make me debunk. That might be the name. No. Okay, so I'm just gonna read that line again, but I'm keeping all that. I'm not getting rid of that. Not only that, but they also generally use technology as a means of reaching out. This little factoid came from a couple of people who got the information from mediums they sought out. So here I am in that time frame, sitting in my office at work. I was working on a computer program that had 0 to do with my email, when all of a sudden my computer flashed, kind of like a power surge type of flash, but it almost made a loud pop sound, enough to make me jump backwards at my desk and say, whoa, out loud. It was startling. Now, mind you, I worked at BMW at the time, a huge company with surge protectors all over our office space and generators galore. There was never a loss of power. The screen briefly went black, and when it came back up, my email was open. Not only that, oh, this is good. This is so good. Not only that, it was highlighted on all my sent emails, and it was as if all my emails had been sorted by the person I had sent them to. And who do you think was the name highlighted? Katie Ryder, my wife.
Whoa.
The entire screen was filled with just emails of her name over and over and over again. And the one email highlighted with a little dark bar going across had the subject title that read, "Hello, love," in all caps. That's where I want to cry.
Yeah, that's where I am. Because that is, to get that,
I know.
Wow.
That's beautiful. I just paused, stared blankly at the screen, and said back out loud, "Hello, love." Chills again.
Oh, man.
I know. Now we got to take a minute.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
A little flustered.
Well, first of all, they had the most beautiful love story. I mean, these two were just meant for each other. And so to think of the loss that Karen had to go through and getting to see that from her.
And
girl, that shit's for real. Sons. That was her reaching out to you. I mean, because that love stretches, because you had the real deal.
Yes, it's beautiful. There's one more little bit.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll cry over this part. I know.
I'll try not to.
I know.
I'm trying to suck. I'm trying really hard. Like, you know, you suck your nose. I'm trying really hard to suck my tears back into my eyes. It's not working.
The grossest image I've ever heard. Okay. Well, that cleared up my tears, so that's good.
See, it worked.
There are a number of wild stories like this. The final quick one I'll leave you with that made me laugh happened years and years later. Backstory. Growing up amongst There are a number of wild stories like this. The final quick one I'll leave you with that made me laugh happened years and years later. Backstory. Growing up amongst Katie's family, instead of saying "I love you" when they were leaving the house or out in public, maybe saying goodbye, they would just yell 3, like with an exclamation point. Huh. The proper response was 4.
Aw.
It was a tradition. I know. It was a tradition she and I had. It's a tradition we use with our children. It's the last thing. Sorry, I forgot that this was awesome.
Oh my gosh, Erin.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm just reading it and it's beautiful. It's the last thing I ever said to her. 3. Oh, sorry. So since her passing, 3s have shown up in some crazy places. But my favorite 3 story, we were in Thailand, because of course she was, on a boat taxi.
Of course she was.
Of course. Just flying down the river when a tiny piece of paper flew up out of the water and sticks to Aiden's cheek. We all laugh in surprise. When he pulls it off his face, the only thing on that paper, 3.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh no.
Oh man. Whew, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm I'm back.
All right.
Whew, that one got me.
Who knows what it all means, if anything, but in all times that these little reaching out moments have occurred, it brought me some form of comfort and peace, knowing beautiful, vibrant Katie Ryder isn't just gone from our lives forever, that she checks in and watches over me and her babies from time to time. 3. Oh, I didn't even notice that she ended it to us with a 3.
4. We'll say that. 4.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Gee, that was a hard one to get through. Wow, Karen. You're the strongest person.
I know.
Like, forget cool. I mean, whatever. You're cool, but golly, you're the strongest person I know. Man, I can't even get through the email.
I know.
Because, like, and I don't want to tell, her story for her because, boy, she needs to write a book.
Yeah, she should write a book.
But yeah, she packed up those boys and they started traveling the world right after Katie died. And I think they started with kind of tracing her steps of where she had last toured.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to tell too much of her own story because I want it to come from her own words, but that's, to my knowledge, that's kind of what they did. And I'm like, man, what a just badass thing to do. And such a cool way to give tribute to your partner, your wife. That's amazing. And I need my voice to stop quivering. But I'm just so glad she wrote in. Like,
me too.
That's amazing. What a beautiful story.
I know. It is so beautiful. It is hard to read it, and apparently it's hard to listen to.
Oh my golly, it's so hard. I keep saying my golly. It's all because that's all I can say. I mean, it's just, it's so beautiful. And I kept thinking, oh man, so many people going through such a tragic loss need to hear that story because that is just touching. Thank you so much, Karen, because what an intimate story to share with us and our listeners. And I 100% believe it's her. I mean, that's it. This was the episode. And damn it, Karen, you knew. You're like, okay, nobody else can get her. I'll get her. Oh, my gosh. I'm not even going to attempt. I don't even care. I can name you by name, those of you who want me to debunk this, and I don't care. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we don't debunk family.
We don't. I'm going to respect all of that. Not that I'm disrespectful when I debunk, but I'm not going there on that one.
Yeah.
Whew, take a big breath, everybody. Let's get back into...
should we do a little break? You want to go a little break?
I want another drink.
Oh, that's a good plan. Let's take a little break.
I need another
You
one.
all listen to a commercial.
So I know we're supposed to start fresh now, but during our little drink break, it reminded me, Karen reminded me of her brother, Mike, when we have this video of Mike, and he's probably, 10?
Yeah.
10 or 11. And he finds this frog in the backyard. I guess it's a toad. Clearly, it's a toad. And he is he has always been very intelligent. I mean, he's very intelligent, but when it comes to nature and specific things, but he finds this toad and he keeps showing the camera and he's so excited about it. He's going, it's a horny toad. Check out this horny toad. And my dad just keeps following around. And clearly dad is eating it up, because nobody else thinks it's funny, but dad is just like, what is that? What you got in your hand? He's like, it's a horny toad, Gary. It's a horny toad. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then little Karen rolling around like she was in a little diaper and her little dark curls. And oh man, we've got some good home videos we do of that family, but of our families together. So anyway, just thought I'd throw in a little horny toad story to try to really get myself back into my right frame of mind.
Ellie,
come on, girl. Come on.
Get in here. Sorry, guys.
Bring it in. Bring it in, girl.
We tried to limit the snoring, but Ellie's restless.
Come on. Well, if you're going to get up here, get up here. Oh my gosh, you're so big. You don't look that big, but you are hefty.
Nice.
I'm so sorry. I am too. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, all right. So I am going to be very honest. I've not read all the way through this yet, so we'll see how this goes. But I did read through the first half, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. But then in an effort to, really try to speed things up, since we can't stay up till 2:00 in the morning anymore. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. Okay. But what I've read so far is pretty spooky. if you're crying in this one, it's probably because you're scared.
Let's just
put it that way. Okay, you ready?
Good. We got the emotional stuff.
That's right.
Over.
Got that. That's good to get out.
Tugged at your heartstrings, and now we're gonna make you pee your pants.
Man, we are just everywhere tonight. Okay. Hi, my name is Carrie, and I actually heard of you all through my mom. She called me after her best friend, Juju. She actually says her full name, but we call her Juju.
We called her Judy when she was our fan favorite.
Okay, well, Judy, one of our fan favorites, told her about you and said I needed to share my story with you all.
Mm-hmm.
We're glad you did, Judy. That's why you're a fan favorite. Okay, so I bought my house in July of 2017. Good, congratulations.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I bought a house. A lady and her husband had actually built the house in 1962 and lived there until they passed. The husband passed, and then I think it was a year or two before Mrs. Draper passed. Of course, you know who I'm thinking of. Dawn Draper. All I can keep picturing is like, the martini and Miss Draper and those dresses. Okay. Anyway, that's from Mad Men if you didn't catch that reference. She passed away in the house, I think 6 months or a little more before I moved in. So that was a quick turnaround there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Wait, did she say in the house?
I think she said she passed away in the house 6 months or so. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Ooh, yeah. That's how do you know? Somebody's probably passed away in this house.
No, I died at myhouse.com or something.
Oh, shut your mouth. That is not a thing.
It is a thing. I had to pay $11.
Shut your mouth.
I will not shut my mouth. It's a thing.
Not a thing.
Somebody
scammed you.
No, it's
How
not.
do they know?
It shows you the records of everyone who's owned your house, and it tells you if any deaths in the house.
Mm-hmm. I think somebody scammed you.
Died in house. I'll find
that's awful. It's just awful.
Is it? Or is it a public service?
I mean, it's kind of none of your business. You didn't live here then.
It's a lot of my business if they're going to be up in my business haunting me.
Okay, listen. We are living on a space, on a planet, where everywhere we walk all day long, people have died.
That seems drastic.
Does it? I mean, we're talking how many people have lived on this earth since the time of human beings. Okay. I don't know. I'm not even going to take a stab at it because it's going to be some ridiculous number. So not going to happen. But I'm just saying, everywhere you go, someone has died there. Just find that peace of mind there.
Okay.
That's okay. True. Come at me. Whoever's out there, come at me. I'm just saying, you cannot tell me you know for sure where people have and have not died. Okay. So she says, so there's a lot of stuff that happened. So please just bear with me. When that started happening, Jessica had been moved out about a month. So she's there by herself.
Oh, no, Jessica, come back.
Yeah, Jessica's like, hell no, girl. It's either you or a ghost creeping on me, and I
don't own this house. Bye.
I am out. Yeah, exactly. Just because she couldn't stand everything going on. Oh, wow. She really did leave because that. It would start out like 2 or 3 doors on the bottom cabinets open only. So I'd think of stuff it could be. Then it started being all the cabinets, including top and bottom. It made me very uneasy to see that. But it's happened about 10 times total so far, and I've gotten pretty used to it. Back to the previous owners. They will ring my doorbell chimes in the hallway from time to time in order to communicate with me. Oh, so she's pinned it down. She's like, it must be them. Ooh. So I'll talk to them and ask them yes or no questions.
Ooh, brave.
Yeah. My mom has actually been in the house when it's gone off before. She ended up not wanting to be in the house anymore. Oh, this poor girl. She's like, anybody want to come visit? Somebody, anybody? I'll come, girl. I'll come visit. I'll come visit.
I won't spend the night, but I'll visit.
Right. I'm not moving in. I mean, I'm back in the world now. Ask me a month ago, I might have moved in.
Carrie's like, I'm not asking you.
We always do that. We take it too far. I know. She definitely was not asking me.
But I was never even listened to this podcast. Her mom was just like, right in.
She's still not going to listen. Carrie won't even know. Okay, here we go. I'll just be another creeper.
Now, if she feels like somebody's watching her,
it
might
legit.
Be you.
It's legit. That's right. She ended up not wanting to be in the house anymore. And I would know if it was someone ringing the doorbell because I've got a Nest video doorbell. So not only would I get a notification of a person on my phone, but I'd also get one saying someone rang the doorbell, and it would actually go through my Nest Mini speakers in the house and tell me, which it didn't do.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess like just the old-timey doorbell.
Oh, that's weird. Which I'm sure she doesn't have plugged up anymore.
I don't know. Didn't say. I've also come home to find a case of canned soda sitting upright in the middle of the kitchen floor when I know it was on the counter when I left. Plus, about 2 weeks ago, I came home to find a box of cat fountain water filters in the middle of the living room. The box I kept them in was upright. However, all the water filters were out of the box and stacked nice and neat right beside the box. They were on an end table beside my couch when I left. Things are actually usually so active that I cleanse my house with burning sage once every 2 months, just to try to keep everything pretty quiet. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that has happened in the house worth mentioning. Thanks, Carrie.
That is definitely worth mentioning. That is,
oh, girl, yeah. You got a lot going on. Okay,
really good.
Here is
debunk.
Yeah, well, Carrie, girl, I don't want to scare you because it sounds like you're living by yourself. But I am saying legit squatter. And I am worried for you. Like, you need to get, it does. Like, to me, it sounds like there's a story, and I cannot remember what podcast. I definitely know it was a podcast.
It's a Criminal.
Yes, it was Criminal, which first of all, the best. But Criminal is the best podcast ever. But yes, the best episode of Criminal.
Yeah.
It was, and this person was not trying to harm them. They were just trying to cohabitate. Cohabitate, is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Look at me. I was gonna say cohabit.
Nope.
Cohabitate. Okay. Now it's so weird. But anyway, they were just trying to live, upstairs quietly, and they even saved this person's dog.
I know.
Because the person living in the house got a new puppy. They were potty training it or whatever, and they left it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
While they went to school or to class or something, and their plumbing started overflowing. The cat or the dog was going to drown.
Yeah.
And this person saved their dog.
Right. Which is so cute. It was.
I know.
It was like, oh, well, I don't want the dog to get
hurt. I don't want to get caught, but I also don't want the dog to die. So which one is? But yeah. So I don't know, girl. I'm saying like.
And then they caught him because she got a cold, and so she didn't leave her house, or like she got the flu or something. So she didn't leave for like a week, and so he was starving up there.
Yeah, that's right.
So
he's like uncle, I need to eat.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine?
That's crazy. Because he would like sneak down and drink some of her sodas.
And she kept getting mad at her, calling her brother, "Stop getting in my house and drinking." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." She's like, "I know you're doing this."
So Carrie, I don't know. Yes, I mean,
like waiting till 2 a.m. to take a shower.
Hoping nobody would notice. Ugh. Oh, Carrie, call the police. I don't know what advice to give to you.
Check truly get that checked out
by somebody, by a professional. Yeah, like call a professional to say, hey, please check this out to make sure nobody's living in my house.
If it turns out to be a squatter, please write back.
But yeah, in all seriousness, get that checked out because all of those things, I feel like can be described as maybe a squatter.
Yeah.
Because some squatters are not dangerous, and that doesn't make it right. I'm not saying allow them to just be at one with them, but I'm saying
you can start charging rent at some point.
Yeah, right. Like, especially if they're like kind of a considerate squatter, you're like, oh, maybe they're like trying to change the water filter for you, but then they got busted, like, oh my gosh, and they like ran back up. So I don't know. I would get that checked out for sure, Carrie. And if everything gets checked out and it's not, then Aaron is like 100% on board. Yeah. And I'm going to say that is one crafty squatter.
Yeah. It is. If it is not a squatter, that's terrifying. If it is a squatter, that's even more terrifying, probably.
Oh, yeah. I think the living is way more terrifying.
Well, of course you do.
Yeah, right. But definitely.
It's a great story.
Regardless. It is a great story, and no matter how it turns out, you got a story.
Yeah,
one way or the other. But
don't listen to this in your house because if they hear it,
true. Let's tell Judy. to tell her, listen to it outside of her house and then call a professional.
Right. Because that's scary.
No, yeah, that is. Please, I mean, write us back. Let us know either way.
Yeah. Awesome. That was a great story. Thank you for writing in, Carrie. Okay, so guess what?
I'm excited.
I did fan favorite early.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I know, but really, Dominica really did most of the work because she reached out to me on Twitter first, which this is so nice. So if you guys have forgotten somehow, Dominica wrote in about the
haunted vineyard
that was really cool, where that little ghost was hanging out while she read Harry Potter.
It was the setting of Dirty Dancing, if you don't remember.
Sure it was. But she is awesome, and she's got a podcast called Queer Culture, which is queer spelled the way you would spell it, but culture is spelled Qulture. Like a play on word, alliteration, if you will. So she reached out. I'm going to just read our Twitter exchange. She wrote, "Good morning. In our episode released today about Sappho, I plug your pod and talk about how I sent my story in. Have a great day." So that's what I got like on Sunday morning or something. It was early in the morning. It was so nice. Oh, Friday. It's timestamped. Yeah, because I was working. I was at my computer. And I was like, well, that's awfully nice. So then I went and listened, and she didn't just like briefly mention us. She like talks about us and that we're funny, and she
thinks we're from Texas.
She does think we're from Texas. She later said on, I realize now you're from Kentucky, but I couldn't remember that at the time.
That's okay. Apparently I get real country when I'm in this podcast, but that's fine. I'll take it. Texas is cool.
It is cool. Yeah. I mean, we got some cool
listen, Texas, Kentucky.
We all Kentucky folk are not judging.
Yeah, we got some space to grow. Let's just put it that way.
Yes. So she sent out that message. It was so nice, and the whole podcast was really interesting. She talked about
It is. I went back and listened to a couple episodes.
Yeah,
and I don't know how they say all of the cuz and the q's and the quas. They're so good at it.
Yeah, they
like
are.
Even
good.
Corey, like she said, like a lot of their introductions, they say a whole bunch of. And I'm like, these youngins, they can just say these words so fluently, and they never mess them up. Oh, I'm just.
Or
jealous.
they're really good at editing, and
maybe
you're stuck with me.
I don't think so. I just think they're really good at talking.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, but it is a very cool podcast. Like it's great. Yeah, do they? From what I gather, if they're much like, because I have not listened to all of them, but the couple that I listened to, basically they take a subject. It could be like a movie or a song or something that kind of influenced them, or just influences the community, the queer community, and they kind of go into it. They dissect it. Why did it affect you so much? And it's really cool, and it gives a different perspective if you yourself do not identify as queer. I always think it's worthy to stretch yourself and listen to other people's perspectives, because
for sure,
if anything, you will learn, and you'll that's what life is about, learning about other people's walks of life. And and
their podcast is really funny. It's like,
it's
very enjoyable,
very funny, very light,
like
just very light and quirky, and they just kind of go back and forth a little bit, and it's very cute.
Yes. So please check out their podcast called Queer Culture. Again, that's queer, Queer, culture, Culture. And you can find them on Twitter, I know, at Queer Culture. So they're awesome. And thank you so much, Dominica, for first writing in an awesome story and then plugging us on your own awesome podcast. That's so cool.
That's how you do it, people. That's how you rock out the fan favorite. You promote us on your podcast. So if you don't have a podcast, you need to go get one and then start talking about us on your podcast. I'm really proud of you, Dominica, for starting up a podcast just to talk about us on it. I kid. Yeah, I mean, your podcast, it's going places. It's doing stuff like important work. So
way more important than what we're doing.
We're just kind of silly and old and funny. I mean, sometimes I think we're funny. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes we
This was our first crying episode. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I almost think it was Jody's, the grandma.
Oh. Wow.
I teared up. I teared up
I'm
on
dead
that one.
inside.
You are dead inside, but I still have a little something rattling around in there sometimes, so it comes out from time to time. Clearly, this time it came out, and I was like, "Whoa, go back in." But anyway, yes, Dominica, we are just so happy to call you friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so those were some really good stories. One, of course, we're definitely attached to, but it was so sweet, and I hope that it translated, even if you
did it
weren't.
justice.
I know, because they were like the dream team.
Oh,
such a great couple.
You just were in awe sitting around, like just in all of them. They were, and she's just such a beautiful soul, and she lives on forever. I mean, she still has a fan base that, an active Facebook page where they're constantly, playing her music, and it's a beautiful.
Their boys are now like young men. I mean, they're
right.
Oh my gosh. So yes, awesome. And man, Carrie's story was really, really scary. So way to get all the emotion.
Yes, I mean, if you were listening tonight, you were like us, you were all over the place. So.
That's right. So if you guys want to follow us, you can find us on Fans of Facebook. Nope, I did it again.
Fans of My Skeptical Sister.
You can find us on that on Facebook, and you can find us on Instagram at My Skeptical Sister. You can find us on Twitter at My Skeptical Sis 1, I think. But look for our logo.
Yeah,
type it in, you'll find it. And then here's a surprise for you.
What? A surprise for me?
Yeah.
Is it a cryptid mug?
No, it's not
that cool.
It's not as good as that.
No.
In fact, I don't even want to tell you because you're totally going to make fun of me.
Tell me.
Sophie, my daughter.
Okay. I love Sophie.
Talked me into setting up a TikTok.
Oh, shut your mouth. Get out of here. That is not at all. Wait. Hold on. This is okay. The only thing I know about TikTok is when I learned how to do the Renegade, that TikTok song for my kids for a reward.
Yeah.
So
for your students.
Oh yeah, my students. They challenged
me. My reward
for
my kids would not be dancing.
No.
Please stop dancing.
No. My students challenged me to learn a TikTok dance called Renegade. It was absolutely ridiculous, and luckily that footage, I don't think it. Oh, did it make it to Facebook?
I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Anyway, let's not drag that up, anybody. But here's my point: is that when you said that, my mom was like, "I didn't even think that you meant for My Skeptical Sister." I thought, "Oh, girl, you got yourself a TikTok page, huh? You're gonna get up there and like dance." All I was picturing you dancing, and then it like settled in, like, "Oh, she means for My Skeptical Sister." Well, what the hell are we gonna show on TikTok?
I don't know. Sophie is.
How does TikTok even work?
They're 1-minute videos. I have kind of gotten into
Ellie. We're just gonna show Ellie.
Maybe.
I mean, okay. I think she's pretty damn cute, but
yeah, I don't know. Sophie is convinced that we could create some stuff. She said, things go viral on TikTok, and then you could get a lot of people. So,
she's so sweet for thinking we're cool enough to be on TikTok.
I know. She was trying to talk me through it. So I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, that's your ball game. You do TikTok and Twitter. I'll go old school and do Facebook.
If we can make...
I'll start calling people on the phone. Will you listen to my podcast?
If we can make TikTok a thing, I'll stop Twitter because I hate Twitter.
I mean, they're both one and the same to me. I don't really understand either one of them. They're foreign to me, so go for it.
Okay, well, that's cool. So
do your Renegade on your TikTok.
I think we're My Skeptical Sis Pod. But I should probably look at that because I think TikTok names are a little bit more cool.
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, no.
See, you're doing the Renegade. Renegade.
That was for TurboTax.
Oh. TurboTax is on TikTok?
Okay, hold on. What are we? Edit profile. We are... That's weird. I made her do it. For some reason, on TikTok, we are My Skeptical Sister _ nothing. Just underscore and then we're done.
That's so sad. We just kind of fall off. We're like, that's how TikTok will go for us.
Well, yeah, probably. But anyway, so if you want to find us there, I'll see if I can put anything on there.
Yeah, what's going to be on there? Go watch a bunch of nothing. You go see.
A bunch of nothing.
Go watch a bunch of nothing on TikTok of the My Skeptical Sister. That'd be great. Don't do that. Just go find us at our regular spot.
Our regular hangout. Fun week. Okay. But yes, find us on all those. And thank you guys for listening. Please rate and review us if you have iTunes. And if you don't have iTunes, or if you do, just tell your friends about us. And send in your ghost stories.
We need them.
Yeah, we definitely need them. Really bad. Y'all are not taking me seriously. Except for a few of you. We got a couple repeats. We're going to get into them.
Which we definitely will. But we also, we want to spread those out a little bit. So we need some new blood.
That's right. But old blood, we love you too.
Oh, yeah. And we're just saving it. We're just saying we just don't want to do back to back to back,
Yeah.
Because then it'd be like your podcast. And it's not. You're not a sister. I'm kidding.
You get so mean every episode. You take a turn.
One of us has to.
It's always you.
Okay, well, then you need to start being meaner. And then I wouldn't have to do our dirty work.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to y'all next week.
La, 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 la.
Plus, about 2 weeks ago, I came home to find a box of cat fountain water filters. Oh. Sorry. Oh, that was so foreign to me.
Cat fountain water filters. It was like all random words.
Well, at first I was like, oh, a cat. And they're like, oh, cat fountain. Sorry. I'm like, a cat fountain? Oh, you got a cat fountain? Now I'm still kind of like, what's cat? Oh my gosh. I'm not drunk, I promise. Okay. I came home to find a box of cat fountain.
Can I see it?
No, that's all it is. It's just 4 words.
Those words don't fit together to be a thing.
Okay, I think it does. I think it's like, we're not cat owners. Oh, so I think it's like
filtered water for your cat?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. That's beautiful, Carrie.
It's so bougie. It's so bougie. Oh my God.
A good cat owner.
Oh, such a good cat owner.
Ellie,
and I'm just dying laughing over because I'm like, yeah, a cat fountain. That's like where my mind went to. And then I'm like, a filtered fountain. I'm like, okay, no. Makes more sense if the cat is drinking the filtered water, but then I'm still like, man, your cat drinks better water than I do. Oh, okay. Sorry about all of that.
I'm sorry for the cat judgment.
I know, we really do come across harsh on cats. I enjoy when other people have them.
I don't.
Plus, about 2 weeks ago, I came home to find a box of cat fountain water filters in the middle of the living room. It's funny every time. It's not you. It's not you. It's just the thought of a cat drinking filtered water is crazy. Now stop. It's your fault. It's because every time I start, I see your little shoulder shrug. Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, what's funny about that? It's not even that funny.
Okay.
Trying to talk myself out of it. It's not that funny. Okay.
I didn't laugh that time.
I couldn't help it. I was waiting for you to laugh. Okay. All right. Fine. It's not even funny. Maybe we just don't read it anymore. That was the end of the story.
Hunt Memorial Glass creates custom glass artwork using the cremation ashes of your loved one. They offer affordable, custom-designed glass jewelry, personalized glass sculptures, and beautiful glass marbles that you and your family will cherish. Please visit Hunt Memorial Glass on Facebook or email them at huntmemorialglass@gmail.com.
Okay, so first of all, you read that beautifully.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so professionally. But I'm very excited to promote this business. They do beautiful work. So, whether you're a believer or a skeptic of ghosts, everybody wants to memorialize their loved one. And then even pets. Like they had a sun catcher with a little paw print that has the dog's ashes. I was like, if I'd have thought that with Corley, So anyway, my whole point is that this is just beautiful artwork, first of all. Beautiful artwork, and then to have that sentimental part attached to it. I really believe in this product. Just a wonderful way to honor your loved ones if they pass on.
It's gorgeous. I think you should all check out that Facebook page. I definitely followed it as soon as I saw it. It's incredible. What a cool way to remember your loved ones.